with so much evil prevailing today worldwide and getting worse, even here in the United States, then one obvious question is, where is all of this headed? Broadcasting from Metro Atlanta, Georgia in the United States, Rob Conrad at the global microphone of Heisnear.com. So that's what I'm focused on here. That's what people are wondering. Where is all of this leading to, ultimately? And in a word, the answer is that it's leading to the very next major Bible prophecy event to take place in our end-time generation, which is the actual start of the 7-year tribulation. And to be more specific, the prophecy of Daniel chapter 9 verse 27 is in fact the very next huge event coming, and it's pounding on this generation's front door as I speak. Here's what Daniel 9:27 foretells. I'm reading it. And he, meaning Antichrist, shall confirm the covenant with the many for 1 week, meaning a period of 7 years, which is the same as the 70th week of Daniel's prophecies. Now, in this prophecy of Daniel 9:27, there are 3 most critical Bible facts, 3 keys that collectively tell us whether or not the nearing 7-year tribulation period has actually started or not. And you'll see as I go through these 3 keys that 2 of these are in fact already happening tangibly in real time. That means that only one final key remains of Daniel's prophecy to virtually start the coming 7-year tribulation period. And without question, if a person does not know all of these 3 keys, then you'll be in a guessing game when the tribulation starts. Here's the first key in Daniel 9:27's prophecy, which is knowing that Antichrist is the Pope of Rome, each and every elected Pope. Daniel's prophecy states, and he shall confirm the covenant, meaning Antichrist, the Pope of Rome. In fact, in the prior verse, Daniel 9:26, Daniel specifically identifies Rome as the origin of Antichrist. So the Pope of Rome is the sole person to watch that will trigger the final 7-year tribulation period. That's the first key. In fact, if Pope Francis were to retire or somehow not be Pope anymore, then the subsequent Pope is still 100% Antichrist. Now, still on this first key, it is also crucial to know that Antichrist, who John wrote about in 1 John chapter 2 verse 18 in 90 AD, is one and the same man that John saw in the vision 5 years later in 95 AD. And this is exactly why John never uses the term Antichrist in the entire book of Revelation, but John only uses the term false prophet, since John recognized during the vision that both of his terms, Antichrist and false prophet, are synonymous and point to one and the same man, being the world's #1 imposter of true Christianity. And in fact, this is why this first key is already established and set, and in real time, as I mentioned, since history proves that over the last 18 centuries, the popes were identified as Antichrist, even by the reformers like John Calvin, Martin Luther, and by many other pillars of the Christian faith, like Sir Isaac Newton, all pinpointed at Heisnear.com. So this is the first huge critical key in Daniel 9:27 to handle accurately, which is to know that the Pope of Rome is Antichrist, in order to recognize when he himself triggers the start of the nearing 7-year tribulation. Now, this second key of Daniel 9:27's prophecy is also required to have 100% confidence that the tribulation has or has not actually started. And here again, you'll see that this second key is already happening in real time, in plain view. And that is that Antichrist, quote, shall confirm the covenant with the many, end quote. First of all, Daniel himself states specifically in chapter 9, verses 4 and 24, that the divine covenant is God's 100% commitment to 2 things, the Jews of Israel and to the city of Jerusalem, belonging solely to the Jews of Israel. So this is simple to understand, and it's clear cut. In fact, in 1948, the world actually witnessed God himself miraculously confirm his own covenant by by reestablishing Israel as a sovereign nation, and also in 1967 giving them Jerusalem. And so in terms of Antichrist confirming the covenant with the many, then today in the United Nations, the majority of the world's nations, being the many of today's end times, already recognize and confirm Israel as a sovereign nation. In fact, in the caption of this video, one of the news links states that as of December 2019, then 162 of the 193 countries of the United Nations have already recognized Israel as a sovereign nation. So here again, this aspect of Daniel's prophecy of the covenant confirmed by the many is set and in real time today. And then also in real time now, we have the Pope of Rome, Antichrist himself, also confirming the covenant with the many, exactly as foretold, as Pope Francis has repeatedly declared publicly that Israel is to be recognized internationally as a sovereign nation. Again, the news links in the caption specifically confirm what I'm saying. So in a word, this second key requirement of Daniel 9:27 of Antichrist confirming the covenant with the many is already in full swing, in real time, precisely as foretold in the Bible prophecy of Daniel. Now regarding this third key, then you'll see that this is the only one key aspect, the only one requirement remaining of Daniel 9:27 that needs to be activated, which will literally start the nearing 7-year tribulation. And that is the 1 week aspect of Daniel 9:27, meaning the forthcoming 7-year period. And so once Antichrist, the Pope himself, actually adds on a 7-year plan, or adds on a 7-year time frame, and links it to the divine covenant status and sovereignty of Israel and Jerusalem, then at that time when it's added, the final 7-year tribulation and 70th week of Daniel will ignite and will start and will thrust this generation into the final 7 years of judgment at the hands of Antichrist. And of course, with 2 of the 3 aspects of Daniel's prophecy already in real time, and with the simplicity of the Pope being able to suddenly add on this third aspect of a 7-year time frame, then right now, literally, Daniel 9:27 is spring-loaded to start in this generation, regardless of which platform the Pope uses. In fact, whether he uses the set platform of the many in the United Nations that I've talked about, or he uses the Abraham Accords, or the 1993 Fundamental Agreement, or whether the Pope simply stands alone and announces his 7-year plan from the Vatican's balcony for that matter. The Pope's 7-year plan, this third aspect of Daniel 9:27, is right now ready to suddenly come to pass and to ignite the whole prophecy right before our eyes.